could you talk about the Christianity and caste in Kerala?
Yeah, the problem with Christianity is that it shares the same sacred space with Hinduism. And it, as in Kerala, Christianity means Syrian Christianity, where they claim their lineage from Brahmin converts. The St. Thomas tradition assumes that St. Thomas came to Kerala in the 1st century AD and converted some families, some Brahmin families, and the present Christians are descendants of those families. And to prove this, they have their inscriptions, copper plate inscriptions, which speaks about the gift of land and rights to the Syrian Christians by the rulers of ancient Kerala. What is striking is the way they share the same myth of regarding Kerala's origin. The two myths, the Onam myth and the Parasurama myth. So we find that the Syrian St. Thomas tradition is only a transformational myth of the originary myth of Kerala, the Onam and Parasurama. All these myths, they speak about the occupation of Kerala, their right to possess everything belonging to Kerala, and their right to subordinate the early inhabitants, the aborigines of Kerala. So this St. Thomas, the myth of the St. Thomas tradition, has a direct bearing on the question of caste oppression experienced by Dalit. And not only the Christian Dalits, but also Dalits of Kerala belonging to other caste communities. This tradition, it claims superiority and also the legitimate right to demean and disgrace the lower caste. So nowhere in Kerala churches the Dalits enjoy an equal status as Christians of the upper caste, the Syrian community. Another thing is what we call, so I find the church in Kerala as a field of interaction. A field of interaction characterized by position and trajectories of individuals and institutions. See, the position of an individual in the church or an institution in the church is determined by the resources available to them. And in Kerala churches, the Syrian Christians have more access to the resources related to the churches. And this has an implication for the way the progressive element in the church, the ecumenical movement, is also dominated by the Syrian Christians. So the church in Kerala is everywhere represented by the Syrian Christians and not by Dalit Christians, who come at least to some uh, one third of Christianity in Kerala.
So this, you were talking about the Onam festival.
Yeah.
In that case, many of my friends say Onam is a festival where Naragasuran is being, in the sense that the Dalit character emerges. Yeah, he dies and he comes out alive. That is Onam. So that is in favor of Dalits. Why they are protesting, they say. How do you respond?
It's a question of interpretation. You can take it that way, but I would agree with William Logan in his Malabar Manual. He states that Onam is a celebration of Vamana's victory over Mahabali. Vamana, the deity, the Vaishnava, Vishnu, Mahavishnu, the incarnation of Mahavishnu. And it is they who celebrate the upper caste. And the rich, they join the celebration. Of course, if you take it as maybe it's an interpretation in order to pacify, in order to placate, humor the lower caste, that it is a festival of Mahabali returning to have a look at his people.
How is, in wide range of Kerala, how is Onam celebrated? Like there is a Muslim population, Dalit population.
All people celebrate, irrespective of their caste or religion. It is a national festival, but with local variants. For example, in some places it is pure vegetarian, the meal. In some other places, especially in Trivandrum and around, they take fish and beef and along with beef.
Is this because of the population difference, or
Yeah.
the population difference, Dalit?
Because you see, Onam was elevated to the level of a national festival in the 50s, 1950s, before
State formation.
yeah, Kerala was established, the state Kerala. And it is over through the years that it is taking new and sophisticated forms. The universalization of Onam is even taking place now. It is not complete.
Okay. And you were talking about the vegetarian and non-vegetarian population in Onam, Trivandrum and this. Is this because, is there a different population there, a different population here? Is that, why the difference?
See, Kerala was formed from 3 administrative regions. There was the Malabar region. Malabar was more advanced in modernity than the Kochi region and the Travancore.
So that in Trivandrum, whose population is more in number, upper caste and lower caste?
In Trivandrum, the Nayars and the Nadas.
So that Nayars also eat non-vegetarian there during Onam. Even upper caste eats in one place and another place, but the government chooses the vegetarian food. The other thing is, Manoj, Dalit activist and who is working in Calicut University now, he told me that in 1980s there was a Dalit movement which protested against Onam and said we cannot celebrate this is a black day for us. So how do you interpret that?
Yeah, I am in agreement with Manoj in that respect. That's why I said
you can interpret.
I agree with Logan's explanation of Onam. It is not something that can be celebrated by the lower caste who lost their land, who lost everything.
Mhm.